G'day friends and fans, welcome to Dave Talk Stuff. I'm your host, the author David Applegate, author of the books The Boyhood of Cade, Power Games, Into the Elsebound, and The Erotic Tales from the Empire. Part 1 coming soon. Now, before I begin, I'd like to thank the patrons and other supporters who help make this channel possible. You can support the channel by buying my books, buying my merch, and becoming a member of one of my patrons. All my links are in the link tree or in the description below if you're on Rumble and YouTube. Again, apologies for YouTube viewers. My channel got deactivated, and when it was restored, it had no subs, no videos. As I can't upload over 300 videos in backlog, actually more than that. Yeah. Rock in a hard place, right? Alright, so top stories are more weapons for Ukraine. What a shock. More fighting in Ukraine. What a shock. Mysterious explosions. Yeah. Sure, British intelligence isn't... yeah. If you keep making this war global against Russia, you're just asking for global war. This is the cowardice of the crowd, where they think they're perfect, they think they're justified, they think they can do as they please, and they think that there's no repercussions. And of course, this is like, you know, the cheerleaders for most of the wars. It's not their kids, so they don't care. It's like the trolley problem. You know? Let the trolley run over your wife. Or, well, sometimes it's the let the trolley run over your kids. But you know the point, right? You either save all the people in the trolley or you save your wife. And of course, it's a trap, right? There's no good answer. If you save your wife, everybody hates you. But she loves you. If you save everybody, her family hates you because you didn't save her. There's no pleasing everybody. That's the point. But Ukraine is choosing to slaughter itself in an irrecoverable disaster. The longer they prolong this, and as I had previously pointed out, pattern recognition quite easily, yet again, day 3, Putin hits Ukraine harder than previous days. Now, I expect next attack will be different. Russia's done this before. Attack, 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 lull, big attack. And there's a gap. So, I think this has been attack, attack, attack. Now we should see a lull. And then an even bigger attack. But it will be different. We don't know if it's 24 hours or a week. But what we see, Russia used decoy drones, and Ukraine is claiming that he seeks to produce half the weaponry within 6 months of his new government. See how he's trying to legitimize himself? He's an unelected dictator, but now he's forming a new government with EU approval. Unelected governments, everybody! Defending democracy! Bahrain's come out and said he has no plans to transfer ProWritingAid systems. Yeah, why should he? Bahrain could be hit by Houthis or Iranians. or some random, but we don't know what is coming down the pipeline. But we do know a lot of people hate Keir Starmer, and he's quite willing to sacrifice. Keir Starmer is quite willing to sacrifice the British economy for Ukraine, and yet again has betrayed the British working class, particularly those retiring, to basically go from a quite comfortable middle class to extreme poverty as a pensioner overnight, forced to sell your house because you can't even make the basic property taxes while the migrants get your house given to them and the property taxes paid for by the council. It's goddamn freaking stupid how people debase themselves in the name of socialism. No, it's in the name of power, you morons, and you're the sacrificial lamb if you believe in socialism. Alright, Russia. Now, for weeks, Russia's been complaining. Ukraine responded, and Russia's delivered another round of fallen Ukrainian servicemen, but they refused to talk peace. Another Zelensky appointee. What happened to the last one? Who knows? He fires people. People disappear all the time. Most of them actually flee the country to Spain. And Europe just pretends that Zelensky's defending democracy. Meanwhile, in the buffer zone up here in Kursk, the Russians expanded their hold on Ukraine. And as we go around the map, there are several conflicts, most of which are static. They've hardly moved, hardly any fighting. But it appears Russia has seized another border town, though this is time on the Ukrainian side. And so far no movement elsewhere, although there was fighting up in the corner here. Fighting here, Kupiansk, without any real movement on the map. More fighting here in what's meant to be 100% liberated Lugansk. But as you can see, it's 99.99% liberated. And it seems ridiculous that they can't overwhelm that last hurdle. But who knows what they face, because most of the scenes from the front are more of the same. You see a 120 millimeter cannon, they fire a couple of pot shots, hook up to the back of a truck and drive off. And then the Ukrainian response is often raking the area with machine gun fire and mortar. It's a lot of tit-for-tat attacks along it's said to be about 700 miles or over 1,000 kilometres, but in reality, there's only 50% to 25% engagement at any one time. Most of this line is dormant, lying in wait, with nothing happening. And for the soldiers on these dormant lines, where only the occasional pot shot is heard, and as long as you keep your head down and stay in your bunker, you're probably not going to see. You're going to see the war out with very little fighting. But for those on the front line, and that is the troops all get rotated through the front line, putting their lives at extreme risk for a 6-week to 3-month period, depending on the successes and whether or not they get wounded. But still, little progress is made, and as I said, Russia has seized more territory. This was confirmed today with more men and machines pulling in, and they are looking to cut across here. They have seized the main junction between these towns. These are towns that have grown together over time, started as little sporadic farming villages. And what's happened is the Russians have seized the road between them, and the Ukrainians are scrambling to try and, I think they're scrambling to hold the centre of town. Now, apparently there were clashes, but this marker should be here. And this marker should be here. And this marker should be up here. There was fighting in... According to Telegram, there was fighting in Yabulka. That's Klanimov. Right, so we have fighting along the front here. We have multiple claims over time. This has been a backwards and forwards, but this time it might actually be, yes, the Russians have overrun the Ukrainians here, and they're fighting at Polovinka. But those are small. The big battle is yet to happen, but the preliminary is that they are fighting in... I'm not even going to try it. This town right here, they are fighting in the town. The Russians have crossed over into the north and come up this road, while the Ukrainians were able to hold them off for over a year here. This has crumbled. And of course, as you can see, they've come up to here as well, which was their probably key launching point for ATACMS and other long-range missiles. Now they're facing short-range artillery, which reduces the ability for them to supply and defend the front, which is coming under a three-way attack, which I said, they're going to come across a three-way attack. They're going to hit, once they've hit here and cut this off, this will come under a three-way attack from 1, 2, 3, and then this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and the Russians will cut off, just come right through, linking up. As you can see, they've hit up here hard with airstrikes, so a resupply convoy most likely been assembled. And as we zoom out, you can see it's a key part of the third Zelensky line. The first one along here, as you can see, Silveska is the only town remaining at the tip of that spear. And this has lost 2 towns so far. This has lost this little area in here. So this is holding off. The Lyman area has held for quite some time. It's probably one of the more fortified areas with multiple trenches, probably a greater stockpile of arms and ammunitions along with Sylvansk. My guess is that Kamansk and these 3 are busy preparing so. But these, we don't know how long it will take before the advanced ATACMS arrive. These are a even improved missile. And if Russia can't shoot them down, one of the reasons why this war is slow, but Russia is slowly advancing, is that Russia shoots down 9 out of 10 ATACMS. They've been able to reduce Ukraine's effectiveness on the battlefield but not completely, as Ukraine has filled the gap with drones. Speaking of drones, Russia has shot a whole bunch of them. No totals have been confirmed, but there are explosions in Dnipro and Chevchy and Odessa. Ukraine claiming they shot down 36 means at least half got through. There was jamming and attempts to fire missiles into Russia, which all appear to have failed. Remember, this is pro-Ukrainian, so if there were any explosions in Russia or Crimea, they would have, or any part, anywhere, they would have reported it. So Ukraine's attack today failed completely. Here again, confirmation that Russia's handed over to the UN 1,000 dead Ukrainians in return for 19 fallen Russians. That tells you the huge disparity in the last week of fighting. How many died? 1,000 Ukrainians compared to 19 Russians. And what is Viktor Orban to say? Well, he wants peace restored. He wants established agreements with Russia and the groundworks for a strategic partnership that would safeguard Hungarian sovereignty. That's exactly what a Hungarian Prime Minister should be concentrating on, not protecting the bureaucrats in the EU. But of course, NATO, trying to protect its prestige, is urging Trump to hurt Russia. Because little Latvia wants to bark like a chihuahua. So the little chihuahua is whoop, whoop, whoop. Totally ineffective, of course. But here's the main reason why the war is going the way it is. Russia is able to make SAMs cheaper, faster, and with reasonable deadly accuracy, they have been able to take out attackers. Now, these were the Army Tactical Missile System. Now, these are the actual missiles, which is complicated because when you say missile system, you usually think of the launcher and missiles. No, TACMS is the missile. HIMARS is the launcher. One version, 160, the other 300. Now, this advanced one, this is the AA. Well, there's now the AAA, or the Hypersonic Army Tactical Missile System. And it's called a missile system because it's not just a missile, it's a multi-attachment warhead. So in the battlefield, you can pretty much get out your army wrench, turn your lug nut, pop in your tactical warhead, whether that be smoke or tear gas or napalm, but most of them the basic ones come sealed. These fellas here come sealed with just the standard high explosive. This one, however, is a more advanced missile. It can take a number of different warheads, as well as having a longer range, and it is faster. One of the things that this advanced missile could do is carry cluster munitions. Now, some do say that the 160 can carry both cluster or high explosives. Well, you've got high explosive, fragmentation, and cluster. That is likely that the first ones they rolled out were just high explosives, or Now, the missiles were different, right? Initially, the missiles would come out and you'd select. But these new ones, apparently, they can decide which warhead they're going to attach to the missile. And the even new ones are, was it Black Spear or something they called it? Or this is a 360 to 560, depending on the website. But it is not just the longer range. So let's assume that 560 at Mark 3, in a matter of 6 seconds to Moscow, that's what they want, to threaten Putin, to basically control Russia forever, to feel, so they can thump their chest and say, I put my boot on your neck. This is what this war is about. This war is about a bunch of bureaucrats putting their boot on someone's neck. Now, there are several systems. The Tor M2 is an updated version of the Tor 2. Same with the book. These are different. These are all different, right? It's hard to explain, but with the original missile systems, you had basically high-flying bombers. They were slow. Then you had fast-moving, but high altitude rockets. So they had to have it. So they had to come up with different missile systems. And then as drones and helicopters were added, they added more missile systems. But what Russia started to do was overlap, where the Tor, I think the Tor is the short range, the S-300 is up to the S-300, S-350 is the medium range. They all overlap. So you get past one, then the other, and if you're looking like getting past the S-350, further back you got the S-400s, and then the S-500s. But some of these missiles, you have a series of different versions. Over time, all the S-300s were replaced by S-50s. Then the S-400s will be replaced by 450s, and then the 500s with the 550s. It's in various stages, but it's the right tool for the job. And as I could say, the Tor system only got a short range book, a medium range, and this is still considered a medium range. But it has a minimum target range, right, between 200 and 300. It's like the integrated buffer zone, right? These mobile systems were built to plug holes. Take out helicopters and drones, and these for your low-flying aircraft. And the reason why they had a longer range, of course, over 200 is as they start to track and fire, that aircraft has already closed 100 kilometers within seconds. So, you've got to look at this war from the perspective of the aggressor, what their goals are, why they're doing it, and once you understand the who, what, where, and why of the Ukraine war, you could dismantle it. You could pretty much isolate the warmongers and call them out over and over again. But unfortunately, the majority of voters in the majority of counties are passive. Those who don't want the war are whining on social media. They're not effective. They're not organised, and they're not willing to listen, to learn, to evolve, to adapt. It's like all they want to do is vent their anger and frustrations and then get upset when you call them out as useless, effectless, I should say. Totally, you've got to spread the message. You've got to, pretty much, you're going to hear this a lot. Without YouTube engagement, if you're not subscribed, if you don't share, if you don't like, channels die. YouTube is making us compete even harder for your views so they can squeeze more out of us because they are paying less than before. I'm not privy to the ad rates, but a lot of people are saying where they used to live off, they could get to 1,000 views and live off the super chats. It ain't no more. With YouTube and ad revenue, it's not enough. But I still need to hit that magic 1,000, and with your help, I can do it. But you've got to share. You've got to spread the message. Bring in viewers. Bring in eyeballs. I'm one of the few. Most people are just so pro-Ukrainian. They are not bringing you the honest news. And if you'd like to support me, you can support me through my Patreon. Buy my books, buy merch. All my links are in the link tree, description below, or in my profile. Or you can scan the QR code on the screen. Please and thank you. See you in the next video, and bye for now.